Productions.
The Truth Behind the Garbage Pail Kids. Written by Hauntedgrafitti.
If you were an 80s child like myself, you might remember the Garbage Pail Kids. The Garbage Pail Kids were originally released in 1985 and designed to be a crude parody of the Cabbage Patch Kid dolls created by Xavier Roberts, which were immensely popular at the time. If you've never seen or heard of the Garbage Pail Kids, they had their own little line of merchandise and were mostly known for their trading card series. You see, each sticker card features a Garbage Pail Kid character having some kind of comical abnormality, deformity, or suffering a terrible fate with humorous wordplay in the character's name, such as some of my personal favorites. Melton Milton, whose skin was crudely melting away from his face. Peeled Paul, a kid who was humorously peeling his skin off like it was a t-shirt. Nat Nerd, a kid who suffered from disfiguring acne. And there was Alligator, who was featured in the movie. He was a hybrid kid with the head of an alligator and the body of a boy. Just to mention a few, there were so many of them. What I did know, and recently found out there was source, and for the sake of avoiding any legal trouble, I will leave out the source's name, that there were some lost Garbage Pail Kids created by artist Art Spiegelman. Art Spiegelman was also the brainchild behind the Garbage Pail Kids, but the first line of cards were drawn by the artist John Pound, and well, these lost Garbage Pail Kids never made the cut. The reasons being is that when creator Art Spiegelman gave the first round of sketches to the artist John Pound, the sketches were just one step away from being printed. Well, usually John Pound would draw kids in different variations to see which looked the best on the card. Well, along with that first line of characters was a large, yellow, untitled envelope inside the folder containing the first line. From what I was told, inside the envelope were what looked like a few concept drawings of some Garbage Pail Kids that were a little too disturbing and unsettling. Now, it's kind of hard to picture an unsettling Garbage Pail Kid that wasn't already crude, disturbing, and unsettling to begin with. That was the whole point of the Garbage Pail Kids. The unsettling part was that these characters weren't necessarily just about the imagery, but the play of words in the character's name along with the condition that they were in. Now, the first one I remember seeing was named Abused Annie. It showed a little red-headed girl curled up naked sitting in a corner frightened. Abused Annie's body was badly bruised and looked as if she had whelps on her back from being whipped. Also, on the picture, you could see an adult's shadow with his arms raised up in the position to hit her. Another one was named Poppin' Pill Phil, which showed a kid sitting on the floor surrounded by open prescription bottles and pills everywhere. His eyes were bloodshot, he was foaming at the mouth, and had a severely bloated stomach. The next one I saw was the least of the worst, but still made me feel kinda weird thinking about it. His name was Hungry Harry. Hungry Harry was sickly, skinny, almost skeleton-like. He was homeless and standing by a street corner dressed in tattered clothes, holding a sign reading,
God doesn't love me.
There were many in the envelope that were very disturbing, and I really don't choose to bring those up at the moment, but I eventually will, for I feel some of them seemed a little too personal. But I have to say, the one that really stuck out in my head the most was named Aborted Art. While most were drawn in a comical comic book-like fashion, Abort Art was drawn most realistic and crude out of the bunch. It really looked as if Art Spiegelman put a lot of emotion and time into this character. The child was a partially developed fetus and a pair of arms, I remember it having so much detail in the picture that it even had what looked like to be a tag around the dead baby's ankle that read, Art Spiegelman Jr. I thought, if this drawing was created for some real experience, why would Art Spiegelman make a character out of his own dead son? Who knows? Maybe to release some of his emotions from being built up for years? Or just disturbed in the head? Who really knows? Well, the Garbage Pail Kids series was discontinued in 1988 due to the declining sales, and in 2010 they were planning on putting out 6 unreleased cards plus 10 of the most popular fan favorites. So, where are they now? Garbage Pail Kid cards were any of the ones that were in that yellow, large envelope.